The Fool of Fools. Hated, the greatest society known in the world. Hated has known prosperity, freedom of expression. Crime rate was low, also that's what they showed. Business and jobs growth was getting better. For 24 years, the world has known riches until a fool acted. Sex and cheap liquor was in the air. John, 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 a woman was saying. John woke up on a queen-size bed, a wide smile spreading on John's face when he contemplated three beautiful women. Was it his money? Was it liquor, intoxication? Or was it his charming skills? Who knows? But for some reason, John always woke up with beautiful girls on his bed. However, it is late. We need to go. Where is our money? A prostitute says. John said, how nice is to wake up with three naked girls. I felt something special last night. We connected quite well, don't you think? Money will just sully our relationship. How sweet of you, honey. But Stephanie, Karen and I need to get paid. Maybe next time we can stay longer. If you pay extra, of course. John didn't think so. Instead, he smiled and said, you have beautiful eyes. You all have something I like. The prostitute said. One of the girls bent over and adjusted her breast and said, are you sure you don't like something else? What can I say? I like the best. John's smile was only a mask. He was a fool to think he could pull off three women into his bed with just his charms, which is why he always paid for sex. He didn't want to, but he had no choice. He wanted to get laid. He was good looking, had the best education. He knew people on important positions. Many would think he met those important influencers at political meetings, fundraiser events, or even family friends. They were fooled to think that. John made his inner circle at nightclubs and casinos. Sometimes they even shared the same women. John remembered years ago. His father, an important businessman, he had found him with three women on several occasions. Although he didn't like that behavior, he was trying to be patient. Until one day, John's father was having a meeting with other business associates, and his son showed up, drunk, with one harlot on each arm. John said, Dad, look what I have here. Aren't they beautiful? Come on, Dad, be good and pay them, would ya? Huh, no checks. Everyone was gossiping now. John's father said, get out now. Okay. Why'd you get upset so much? It's not the first time you paid him. After that, John passed out drunk. 2 days later, John's father gave him $1 million to disappear and get out of town. This is the last of my money you'll see, and take you off my will. I want you out by tomorrow. John didn't remember the prostitutes or the people's faces from that meeting, but he did remember the after effects of his drinking. His money was running out, but it was so easy wasting money and partying all day. Act number 2. The Fool of Fools. Mr. Duncan, John's father, was working at his office late at night. He's lost count of the number of sleepless nights he's had, so his businesses could be ahead of his competition and thrive. John's father then wasn't working this hard because he cared about the city. He didn't do it for his employees. He didn't even do it for his family. He didn't have one anyway. Not since his wife died and he got stuck with him. After that, he became callous, forgot about his song, and the only times he remembered he had one was to be reminded of disappointments. The only reason Mr. Duncan worked as hard as he does was because he found joy when his competition suffers. The rush that came from feeling he was in control is the only thing that has kept him going. Everything else was meaningless. Someone knocks at the door. Mr. Duncan says, "Come in." It was a man, an investigator, a person who's been working for the family for years. "Sorry to come in this late, Mr. Duncan. What did you find out?" The investigator says, "The new deal with Cobampa region in our country is ago. Our people in the government got in touch with us, and apparently this will give us a boost to the big companies. Small businesses will be affected by this new deal. Unfortunately for them, they usually see the surface of things. Although this coming development gives the impression they would make some money, in the end, they will fail keeping up. Eventually, their employees' syndicates will ask for more benefits and raises. They won't have any other option but to sell to others, preferably us, or just file for bankruptcy, or both." Mr. Duncan had a wolfish smile as he was staring at a chess game he had on a nightstand. They were never a player to begin with. The investigator said nothing for a long moment. "There is this one matter of your son, of course." Mr. Duncan stopped smiling. "Now," he said, "continue." "He's living in hotels on the neighboring town. My contacts tell me he has different women every night. He keeps partying and drinking as if there's no tomorrow. Given the amount of money you gave him, he thinks he's unstoppable. That money won't last him if he keeps spending it on prostitutes and expensive hotels. Mr. Duncan said, "Call Treble and tell him to make him partner on his business in Chobampa." The investigator said, "I didn't know you still cared about the boy." Mr. Duncan said, "I don't give a fuck what happens to him. We live in a tank of sharks, Patrick. This tank is not big enough for everyone. If my competitors see any kind of weakness, anything at all, have no doubt they will come to bite until there is nothing left. Is that all?" The investigator nodded slightly. "That's all."